Hello, my name is Maggie, and I am a stay. So, I wanted to tell you just a little bit about me, who I am, kind of stuff I like, and a little bit about what I call my stay journey, just so you could kind of get to know me and who I am and why I'm here. So, first of all, I am a huge nerd, in like a lot of ways. So, I'm someone who has too many hobbies. I knit, I crochet, I sew, I make videos. I know, but I've taught myself basic video editing. Obviously, I'm a musician, so I sing, play a little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar. I'm not amazing, but, vocally, that's more my strength, my wheelhouse. I read a lot, and all kinds of things, mostly fantasy. I love me a good YA novel, and I read very quickly. So I think my record was 150 books in a year, and the longest book I read in 1 year was one of the Sarah J. Maas 800-page book read a year? In a day. But yeah, Sarah J. Maas 800-page book, I read it in a day. So I read really fast and read a lot. So yeah, I'm also a gamer. I have been gaming since I was 9. I play most of the time these days. I'm a filthy casual. I'll play Minecraft and Stardew Valley. I do play Diablo with my husband and our friends. A little bit of FPS, some here and there, not as much these days. I'd been playing Doom, I just haven't finished because it's 80 hours long. Just anytime I feel the need to destroy things, I'll play a little bit of Doom. But yeah, and then of course I love anime. Been watching anime since I was in junior high. My best friend in junior high was half Japanese, and she introduced me to anime, and her dad would make us food. It was delicious, and then she and I would play Yu-Gi-Oh together. So yeah, I've always been a nerd. As much of in the nerd culture I'm actually relatively new to the K-pop scene. I will tell you a little bit about how I found K-pop, and more specifically, how I found Stray Kids. In 2021, I'm gonna tell you right now, it was rough. That July, I had COVID, and my grandfather had a brain aneurysm. We thought we were gonna lose him. It was a lot. It was a lot. And for the time being then, he pulled through, but he wasn't the same, And then in August, because I was miserable and had no life, I spent a lot of time scrolling Instagram reels. Just kind of, scrolling along, and I came upon this video of this guy rapping. And I remember even at that time being oh my god, this guy is so good. It was the Unveil for Domino with Changbin. And then, of course, after that, Hyunjin popped up, and I was like, that guy's really, really pretty. But I remember even showing my husband being like, hey, watch this. This dude's, really good. He was like, yeah, that's pretty good. But then I, moved on, thought nothing of it. But the magic of the algorithm is once you watch something, it's I got you. And started recommending a ton of Stray Kids videos. And of course, at first I'm like, I'm not really into K-pop. But whatever, I of course knew who Blackpink was. I'd listened to some of their stuff, and who doesn't know who Psy is? And I'd heard of BTS, but I'd never really gotten into their stuff. I just know of them. So yeah. The next thing I remember watching was a clip from Thunderous, and it was Hyunjin dancing in the all red outfit and being like, I haven't really ever seen choreography like this before. This is really interesting. And that dude moves like he's made of water. Wow. So I was really impressed, super impressed. And then the next thing that really caught my eye was a picture of Felix. And it was Felix when he had the long gray hair and he was wearing the red with the hat. And I just had a moment where I literally stopped scrolling and I went, that dude's a fairy. That dude's a straight up fairy. Who is this? And that was when I Googled, in the caption, it had Felix Stray Kids. I was like, okay, who is Felix from Stray Kids? And I Googled it and talked a little bit about Stray Kids. And then, once you've seen so many things, and, it would start popping up some of the more variety show stuff, which was hilarious, of course. I finally was like, okay, all right, I keep seeing, clips from this. So this was, I found them literally right, the week before the Noisy album dropped. So I looked up Thunderous and watched that. That was the first music video I ever watched. and I fell down the K-pop rabbit hole. Now, judge me all you like, because it was the first thing I ever watched and really stuck with me. I judge my stay anniversary as the day that the Domino unveil posted, which I believe is August 13th. But yeah, so that's kind of where I celebrate my anniversary. I know that's when I've basically just found them, but that's an important day to me, so that's how I mark it. But yeah, so after that, I didn't tell anyone about my Stray Kids journey. Even my husband, he didn't know for like a couple of months. I don't think I told him until like October. But I'd been going through so much, and that was only like the tip of the iceberg of everything going on in my life. I'll tell you, I won't say everything, but I'll just say the last like 10 years, the majority of my 20s have been hard. It's been a lot. I've gone through a lot, and I've had to do a lot of growing and figuring out who to be as a human. It's not easy. So at that point in my life, I had kind of just given up on having joy. I just had gotten to the point of being so beat down and so unhappy and so depressed that I was like, this is what life is. This is what life looks like. And I'm just going to have to be okay with being unhappy forever. And then when Stray Kids came into my life, slowly but surely, I started finding joy again. You know, watching them do Skiz Code and watching them do all these variety shows and whatever, they're so genuine. And it made me realize, especially as I realized how hard they work, and, you know, getting to know Chan and everything Chan has gone through, and how hard that man works, and yet he still finds moments of joy. He still finds these moments to laugh and have fun and to enjoy his time with this family he's created. And that itself was just so meaningful to me because, you know, personally I'd given up. I thought that there was no chance that I would have that I would just be miserable forever. And then I realized that if they could do it, so could I. So I eventually spilled the beans to my husband. I was like, okay, I've fallen down a K-pop hole. And he was like, what? And I showed him the music. And one of the reasons I didn't want to tell anyone, it's not because I'm embarrassed to be a stay or embarrassed of Stray Kids. It was when you've been a nerd your whole life, you are so used to people laughing at you for the things you like. You know, I was a gamer. I liked anime, and back when I liked anime, it was not cool to like anime. It was not cool to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You were made fun of, you were a pariah, you were laughed at, you know. People would point and stare and be like, why do you like anime? Why are you looking at those Japanese comics? Like, very, very not cool at that time. It's come a long way to become a lot more mainstream. It was not. You were not cool. And, you know, it was always like, you know, Maggie and her anime, Maggie and her gaming. And at some point, even though, you know, I'm at that point, you know, late 20s, you just get tired of being laughed at for all the things you like. And so I kept it for me. And not that I think my husband would do that. I just mentally was not in a place I could handle it if someone was like, oh, sure, of course you like K-pop. Why wouldn't you? Like, I wasn't in a place I could deal with that. So when I finally started opening up about it to my husband, and then there was one time on my way home from work, I was listening to Levanter, and I think I almost cried because it got to the point where in the lyrics where it says, I'm gonna be myself, I don't care. And that flipped a switch. And I realized that I don't want to pretend to be someone other than who I am. I don't want to be someone I'm not. I want to be myself, whatever that looks like. And you know what? Fuck what anyone else thinks. Because this isn't their life. This is my life. And if I want to love K-pop and support Stray Kids and be a gamer and love anime and nerd out over my boys and just have fun and have joy in my life, then that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's what I did. And one of the biggest things people I attribute one of the biggest people I attribute to this change in mindset is Chan. It's one of the reasons he's so near and dear to my heart, because he is so genuine. You know, of course, he still holds himself back because there's a certain image and certain standard he wants to uphold, and I understand that. But also, if he doesn't like something, you know. If he doesn't want something to be going on, he's gonna say something. If he's there to support someone, he's gonna support them. If he likes something, he'll say it. If he's happy about something, he'll say it. You know, you don't have to guess with him. There's no guesswork. There's no, I don't know. He's gonna be upfront. He's gonna be honest. And he's gonna be himself. You know, being genuine is something that is so important to stray kids, and it's something that's so important to me. You know, it's just, yeah. So, after I decided that I wanted to make some changes in my life, I first off started kind of telling people about my love of stray kids, which, not like, you should join the dark side, just like, hey, this is what I'm into now. To the point where now I have posters on my walls because it's my house and I get to do whatever I want in my office room. I have a shelf and I have photo cards hanging up. I have calendars and magnets and albums and plushies. And a lot of it has to do, yes, I love their music. Don't get me wrong. It started with the music, and I love their music so much. I love their music. I listen to it on repeat. As a musician, I don't listen to things on repeat if I don't like it, because it's painful. Painful. If there's music I cannot stand, I'm not gonna listen to it again. I love their music for a multitude of reasons. But a lot of my love for stray kids beyond the music has to do with who they are as people and how much they've helped me. So at that point, in the end of 2021, I started exercising. So I've mentioned this in a video before, but I have a lot of food allergies, like so many food allergies, and it really, really sucks. And one of the things that makes it really hard is exercising. You get hot and you sweat, and when I sweat, it comes out in my sweat, and then I get hives, and it is really, really, really not fun. It's very hard. So one of the things I started doing, I had given up on. One of the things I'd given up on was trying to kind of battle some of that, and the majority of what I ate, because I can have it, is bread and meat. So burgers with like nothing on it but pickles. Hot dogs with nothing on it, like sandwiches with nothing on it. It's just bread and meat, which is not exactly healthy or good for you or great at keeping your weight steady, right? And I'm not saying I was overweight by any means, but I wasn't happy with my body. After Stray Kids, I kind of realized that despite how hard they work and everything they go through, they still make time to try to better themselves and take care of their bodies. Now, their methods may not always be the most healthy, which I wasn't following their methods. I was following their example in fortitude, if that makes sense. So I started really watching my diet and what I'm eating, and I started exercising consistently, starting by learning how to dance. I started learning the My Pace choreography, and it took me forever. It was fun. And I've at this point done My Pace and Domino and Miro, all very difficult, and I'm not good at it. But it's fun. And then I started doing more like resistance, like body weight training, and then even like weight training. I've actually, for over a year, been working out consistently, and it's all because of Stray Kids. Honestly, at the end of the day, Stray Kids changed my life in a massive way, not just physically, but emotionally. I had one of the most mentally clear years last year ever, since I was 17, you know. And at this point, I will be turning 30 this year. So that's a while to struggle. And there were reasons I struggled. But even when things got bad, when my grandfather passed away, when my mom had heart surgery, I was able to keep my head because I had support where I needed it. Not only around me, like my husband, not to say he's not supportive, he's wonderfully supportive, but I found a way to build myself a platform. So even if I fell down a little bit, I stopped here, not way down here, you know. And a lot of that has to do with Stray Kids, and they're inspiring me to keep going and to keep fighting and to keep pushing forward and to be the best version of myself that I can. So, more than anything, I want to say thank you to Stray Kids. Thank you for being so genuine and so thoughtful in everything you do, but especially with your lyrics and what you're writing and the emotion you put behind them, because it does speak to us in a very deep way. Thank you to Channy. Thank you for every Sunday that you come and see us, because I put you on the big TV and watch with my husband. He's slowly just being turned into a stay by proxy, which is kind of fun. Thank you to Stays. You notice my name is Stay Multiverse. That actually came from, so I was a stay for a few months before I ever made any like fan accounts online. But then it got to the point where I wanted to not have all of the Stray Kids stuff on my personal account because I didn't want everyone in my life knowing that I had completely fallen into Stray Kids. At this point, I don't really care, but at that point. So this was when I finally started making accounts, and it was right around the time they announced the world tour, I think. It was right before Ordinary, and I was diving into multiverse theories. So that's why Stay Multiverse, because it's a stay, and I was diving in multiverse theories, you know, Stray Kids multiverse, Stay Multiverse. That was the whole point. And I still didn't even like talk to anyone on the internet. Like, I didn't comment on things, I didn't reach out, I barely like things just because I'm like extremely socially anxious. I have a lot of social anxiety. Bad. So it was probably 6 months before I ever did. I only like originally made a Twitter just so I could follow information about the world tour tickets. And then I was just started posting stuff, and through Twitter, I found some of the most wonderful people. This is my time to shout out my group chat. I adore you. I love you guys so much. You guys have made being a stay 10 times more fun. Getting to watch Channy's room with y'all and react to things has been the best. It's been a blast. So, to my group chat, love you guys so much. You're amazing. All right. So I'll wrap this up. If you have any more questions about me, my stay journey, anything in particular, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or if you have anything you want me to react to, I'll be happy to. I do have plans for a series coming up with my husband, which he's agreed to be a part of, and I'm very excited. All right. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye-bye.